Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Hey folks, welcome to the episode 1-something-693-867.
Jenny.
196. Is it 196?
It is episode 196. I am not going to edit that out.
Oh, that's funny.
You just wanted to say 69.
Oh, my gosh. It is Sunday afternoon. I was up all night, sleep all day. Wait, wrong song.
Wait a minute. That'd be a good song. We
should
write the lyrics.
Is that on the list today?
I don't think so.
No.
No, that band's not on there.
All right, we've got one of our long time. I was going to say oldest listener, but that doesn't sound good. So one of our longest listeners of the show, watcher of the show. Do you listen or do you watch?
I do both.
You do both.
If I have a chance,
I try to sync Libsyn up with YouTube and see if I can get them to.
No, I usually listen to them at work where I'm at.
Yeah,
got to get Andrew Scambetti to do that, right?
Yeah.
Can you match those two up and make sure that we're really not lip syncing?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I have 3 shows from a 1 week period from the End of the Road tour that I started syncing up, and it's pretty obvious.
Yep.
I need to finish that project because I promised the guy that I got the files from that I would get that back to him, and he said he wasn't in a hurry. And I'm like, well, there's where you fucked up because now I'm not in a hurry.
Well, and apparently there's about, I don't know, 12 to 15,000 a show that people that don't give a shit.
That's exactly right.
No.
So, but the thing is, you know. By the way, this is episode 196, folks, in case I didn't actually get that right. I don't even remember.
It is 96.
David Cathey is our guest. We are going to talk about 5 greatest hits albums that we really like. I won't say our favorites because my favorite greatest hits album changes from week to week depending on what kind of mood that I'm in. We're also going to play Dennis's game again, rock bands A to Z, and that ought to be fun because I picked the bands this week and it got some pretty humorous. Who the fuck is that? Or I don't know anything by them. Or
have you ever heard them before?
Have you ever heard of these guys?
I don't think he's ever actually heard them.
That's right. well, when we get to the one that in the sea, that's one that I really don't listen to, but my wife really used to like. So I thought, hey, I picked that one for her.
Yeah, it's. It really did kind of force me to go back and listen to a few things, and some of them I was like, "Man, what's the essentials on iTunes?" Oh, that's yeah. I
want to bring up something too. Somebody this week had a thing on where they posted their. If you go to Spotify, it gives you like your year in review and your most listened tos and all that stuff.
Please tell me, Dennis, that yours and my list are exactly the same because we were practicing the same songs.
Well,
because like my first 15 songs are songs that the Hounds have been working on.
Well, and that is true. I got the same ones, but it also said this was your most popular band, or you listen to this band more than any band this year. And you know what it was? It says Black Sabbath, but as when we went through, we were listening to all of it wasn't for you. It was when I did another show. It was for I think it was
it Potter Than Hell?
It's great. It was great.
Potter Than Hell. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was. And we had to pick our top 5 whatever Black Sabbath songs. So I went through and listened to the whole catalog. And now it's just the thing is the show doesn't show a true reflection of what I'm really listening to because a lot of that shit was done just for our shows. You know, I had to go back that's stuff that
that's the same with mine. You know, and like I said, the first 15 or so songs are songs that the Hounds have been working on. It still says Kiss is my all-time listen to, which doesn't make any sense because I've listened to Alice Cooper more this year than I have Kiss. I'm going to have to throw a rock at Peter Sistery the next time I see him because I played that Darkness playlist
Darkness
one
Lane.
time. It keeps showing up in my daily mix. So there's always
I
one
like that.
skip
I
in my
like that
daily
stuff,
mix.
I like the
Yeah.
Darkness. I think that's the good thing about that I like is we've done enough stuff of this that it's made us go back and listen to stuff that maybe we don't like, but
Right.
kind of go, yeah, not
But
so
it
bad.
but
And
it
some of
makes you give it a second. You
Yeah.
know, and and the same thing goes for me. I'm not a fan of Kiss Unmasked or Carnival of Souls, but once a year I do make myself go back and listen to those albums. You know, and as I do, you know, it's like, okay, I can deal with Naked City this year. She's So European still sucks, you know. But I mean, I think as you get older and you know, listen to this more, it gives you a better appreciation if it's still not your cup of tea.
Well, like you said earlier, my likes change daily or monthly. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's one of those things. And that's why, you know, with this kind of interesting with this greatest hits thing, I forgot how many greatest hits CDs I have. You know, I haven't listened to a CD in probably 5 years. I got a whole one of those drawer things. I'm like going, wow, I got more greatest hits CDs than I thought I had.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did. Is I just went through and I was like, oh yeah, I like every song on that one. We'll take that one.
Right.
Okay, this one went.
Exactly.
So you know, you know, I just basically picked 5. I can't pick my 5 favorite ones
Sure.
because I probably have 25 greatest hits albums in my collection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
it would be called hits you might like, not great ones necessarily. Which
Yeah.
that's not how it works.
Any of you guys, or especially the listeners, if you do use Spotify, just go there and look up what your favorite. I think it's right on the home page. There's a thing that does your yearly thing, and it's kind of interesting. Like I said, it's not accurate. You know, I mean, it is accurate because that's what you listen to, but it's funny. The stuff that I actually made myself listen to, it comes out to be, but it's funny. I had a lot of hours this year on it too. I forgot what it was, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Mine will go up now because I got all podcast on there now.
Oh yeah, it does show podcasts too. I
It
forgot.
does, yeah. Of course, the only podcast that I listen to on Spotify is 7 Notes of Separation by Corey and Allen.
That's a good one.
And that is actually
That's pretty cool.
His getting from band number or
Point A
song
to
number
point B.
1 to song number 7. It's really fascinating to see how he did that. Yeah. But the nice thing is next week is one of my suggestions. So
I saw that.
So yeah, I was listening to that yesterday when I was raking my front yard. I was like, oh, it is my turn! Yay! But I've got 2 or 3 suggestions into him, and I won't give you any information other than I was watching the country music by Ken Burns documentary, and a song popped up by the Everly Brothers. You know, they're not too far from here. So me being the smart ass that I am, said, I got one for you. Mashed the Everly Brothers up with something. And like an hour and a half later, he's like, it took me 45 minutes, but episode 26 is done now. So, I mean, he's done enough work that he's got that many episodes going.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty impressive. He's like, I was surprised I got it done in 20 or 45 minutes, but yeah. But it's pretty cool to listen, you know. And some of those songs, I mean, I will admit, some of those songs that are in that I've tried to listen to, and it's just like, let's get doop, 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 doop.
Right.
But for the most part, I do listen to all of those songs.
And I'm yawning today.
You know what I mean?
If you're watching, I'm tired today. I've been kind of slept in, and I've been kind of sitting around.
Yeah, I slept in until about 8:15. That's pretty good for me.
Yeah, me too.
I was up at 7.
Yeah.
That's me. I was up at 7.
So
Hey, so today, we're recording today on Sunday the 8th, right?
that is correct.
And
Which is the anniversary of the passing of John Lennon, Razzle, and Dimebag Darrell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was going before I interrupted myself earlier. I was going to make a comment, you know, because we were talking about the Paul Stanley lip syncing or vocal smoothing, whatever. Now that Motley Crue has the arena, it's a stadium tour has been announced. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and they're supposed to switch out which night who closes the show.
Oh.
And then there's also Poison, and Joan Jett.
Joan Jett.
My question is, do you think that Vince Neil will rent Paul Stanley's vocal smoothing pedal?
No, because Paul's vocal smoothing pedal actually sounds like a song.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would work for him.
He needs to run a treadmill is what he needs to do.
And I'm going to go on record again here to say, even though I really don't have a desire to see Motley Crue live, they are one of my favorite bands.
I like them.
So I give them a bunch of shit. They bring it on themselves, actually.
Right.
But they're still one of my favorite bands, just like Kiss. I'm going to call them out when something's going on that I don't care about, but they're still my favorite band,
Just real quickly, I saw on
It is
Facebook
what it
a while
is.
ago, they were showing I guess it was ABC Monday Night Football, and when they announced that John Lennon had been shot and everything.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
saw
remember when you heard it for the first time? Do you remember
I
what
was
you were
watching
doing?
the game.
Oh, was you watching the game? Interesting. Wow.
I was 10
I
years
remember
old when
hearing it
it
on the
happened.
radio.
I
I heard it on the radio. I didn't hear it,
I think I heard it on the news.
When Howard Cosell gave it. Yeah, that's when I heard it.
Yeah,
Maybe that is when I heard it.
No, I was actually in bed, and I was listening to. I used to listen to QMF out of Louisville, and I had my headphones on. I was listening, and then the guy came on and said at that point that John, and at the time I wasn't a big Beatles fan, and not a. I mean, it was like, oh, well, that sucks, but it wasn't really. I go to school the next day, and my friends, some of the guys had like these black bands on their arms and stuff. They were all, really tore up. But it was one of those ones where I wasn't a huge fan at the time. I mean, it's a sad situation, but it wasn't like it was, somebody I really followed that good much. But
Well, if you get a chance to go to if you ever get a chance to go to New York City, if you do the double-decker bus tour around Times Square in Manhattan, they take you by and show you. And it's really, I always thought it was like on Central, you're right across the street from Central Park, and it's not. It's like it's down the street, but it's not far down the street, like I don't know, a quarter of a block or something like that. But it's you can tell it, and it was really eerie. I mean, it really, it did kind of, even being on that double decker bus and him pointing that out, it really kind of was a very depressing moment.
right.
Of the tour. It's kind of like, damn, that's
Surreal.
But, yeah, very surreal. I mean, it really is, and just a bad gig. But all right, let's have some fun.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. So anyway, did you get any records this week?
Nope. I'm trying to think. I don't think I did.
I thought you were getting some in the mail. I thought you were getting some shipped to you from last week. You said you got 2 on the way.
I had 2 on the way that did not arrive.
Oh, really?
Walmart has decided to keep them for themselves.
If
Like
they're the two
I did
that
get a
I
Led
think,
Zeppelin. I did.
You
if
showed
they're the
me
two
that,
that I
yeah.
think they are, I've heard a lot of people complain about that. They're supposed to come in the mail, but they're back ordered or whatever. But you go to Walmart and they're on the shelf.
No, these aren't. No, this was off the cuff weird stuff.
Oh, I gotcha. Gotcha.
They just happened to have on Black Friday it was a good deal though. I got 2 records for less than $30.
That's
So
cool.
2 brand new records. So that's a pretty good deal. No, it was Led Zeppelin 2, and I think I brought that up on our
Yeah,
last.
you did. You showed it last week. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing I got.
I went to Louisville my 30th anniversary was Monday, so we went to Louisville, and I went to we went to that one shop first, which was the Electric Ladyland. But you and I went to.
Yeah, I don't care for that place much.
My God, and that's incense they burn in there. Time
Yeah,
I left, I was just about my head a headache.
That's because right before you walk in the door, they're smoking a doobie.
Oh, I guarantee it. But while I was there, I found 3 albums there. I got a promo copy of Naked Eyes. It's got always something there to remind me.
Oh, yeah?
Promises. I got it for $4.
That's a good deal.
I got Jackson Browne, Lawyers in Love. I'm getting pretty close on my Jackson Browne collection. It's got some good one. Lawyers in Love, 10 Years a Night, 4 Rockers on there. Found a really nice copy of 7 Wishes, Night Ranger. And I think I only paid like $5 for that. So they still smell like incense. So, and then next I went to a friend of mine that I went to high school with. Actually went from grade school on. Suzanne Anthony. Her cousin has a shop up there on Baxter Avenue called Matt Anthony's Record Shop, and I went there. I talked
Is
to
it
him.
right? Is it right along where the rest of those are, or is it not?
No, it's farther down. Actually, if you on that road that you're going, if you're going back towards 64, if you're kind of going how we went,
going down the hill,
and you get to that Y, right where the Highlands meets, you keep going, and it's actually down almost at the bottom of the hill. It's almost at 64. Okay. But at Baxter Avenue. It's 536 Baxter. Nice little shop. All right. But I got a really nice for $8, $1 billion babies. And it's a little rough on the outer edge, but the inside's all there. And it's it's got $1. But anyway, what a good deal on that. I'll get that for $8.
That's a good deal.
I paid $17 for this, but it's a really nice copy, and I don't have my copy is really shitty. So I got Love Gun. It doesn't have the inserts, but it does have the original sleeve on the inside. And you look online, and they're $20 for the new one. So I $17. I went ahead and bought it. So I'm almost got.
New one or an old one?
It's an old one, but it's in really good shape. So I think I don't know. Does it show? It's it's not the 180. So I figured it's just an old one.
Well, it'd be the.
Then I bought 2 new albums while I was over. Actually, old albums, but brand new copies of it. When I was there but before I left, I saw this up on the wall. I got Motley Crue. I got their first album on. It's 180 gram. This is the one that actually they put out themselves. It's the Motley Records. Mm-hmm. So, but I've been wanting to.
Is that Leather Records or Motley Records?
Motley Records.
Okay.
Is what this one is. And I know that they did have some with the had colored vinyl marbled, but unfortunately this isn't. It's just 180 black. But anyway, I haven't listened to it yet, but love that.
Cool.
And then I went to Guitar Center of all places.
Yeah, they have records. Yeah,
they've got a huge Guitar Center in Louisville. It's got actually a recording studio and rehearsal hall and stuff in it. And but the reason I went in there, Kelly went to TJ Maxx. Well, I had. In my billfold, I had an old gift card that I hadn't used. It had like almost $10 on it. So I'm like, their records are overpriced there, but with $10 off, it makes it pretty decent. So I got the remastered version White Album. I've been wanting to get that. So it was $39, and I got it for basically $29 after with the thing. So that's not a bad situation. It's a 2-record set, remastered, 180 grams. So. And made in Germany too. That's kind of odd. Pressed in Germany. So anyway, that's what I got. And so that was my records for the week. So,
well, hopefully I'll have a couple coming.
Yeah. But, and I did get and then the one that also, where did I do with that? Huh?
What, the New England album?
No. No, Brian brought me that. No, Brian.
What is wrong with you?
No, Brian brought me that last week. That Resurrected, and I don't know what I do with it. Here it is. So I hadn't got this yet. Brian actually delivered it about my chair just went down. He delivered it right after the show.
I could not find that one.
Yeah, and I
couldn't find it either.
And he found it over at the Eastside Walmart. It does have a really cool little insert.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of neat. But I do not have a really good copy of Destroyer. I thought, well,
does that mean your other copy was destroyed?
Was destroyed. It is signed by Gene though, but it was my first Kiss album, and it looks like it. But anyway, I did find it, but it was weird. I went to Walmart and didn't see it, and then they just kept. I think it was. Well, Brian said it was not where it was supposed to be. It was kind of over a little bit from the record section. So that's why.
The only one they had is the regular Destroyer. They didn't have no Resurrection. Fine.
So I went ahead and got that. I had bought Resurrected actually on iTunes when it came out. There's not much difference to it. I think Sweet Pain's got a little bit of different solo in it, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, that the original Ace solo. I understand why now they had Dick Wagner come in and re-record that. Was it Dick Wagner? I hope that's correct.
Yes.
If it's not, somebody will let me know.
Well, I hadn't bought any in a while, but I wanted to show you one that I've got. That I'm very.
Look at that.
Man, that's nice. That's a nice.
It is. A friend of mine worked at a record store here in town. I want to say about 30 years ago, I bought it from him.
Right.
For $10 a record. He had never played it.
Wow.
And I still have never played it.
Wow.
And it's got everything else that came with it.
Cool.
And
it had a booklet, right?
Yeah, it's much better shape than my copy is that I had originally.
I've got it. Shape at all. I bought a copy, and it's got the 3 records in it, and it's got each
all
See,
the cards.
wow.
Yep.
So for those who are listening, David has a copy of Kiss's The Originals.
Right. Oh, I wish that was in mine. Yeah, I don't have that either.
Mm-hmm.
That's in good shape too.
Cool.
And-
Showing stuff that was in the album, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that a
wow.
sticker?
Yep.
Wow. Kiss Army sticker. That's awesome.
And
That's pretty good
this-
size too.
he threw this in for fun.
Holy shit!
The rock and roll over one. Sticker.
Holy shit!
You know, my new copy that I bought of Rock and Roll Over has that sticker in it. I thought that was kind of cool. They actually reissued that with that sticker.
But I already had the 3 before, so I've
Right.
never played.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's in good shape. Mine's pretty rough. It's
Well,
mine's
my
been
copy
around.
of The Originals looks like somebody took it and played
Oh, yeah.
frisbee across the road with it. And they're all scratched up.
All
and
the
beat to
sleeves
hell.
are the album covers.
they're nice.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's,
that's
cool.
nice.
Oh, I think mine's like that.
Yeah, I've got the.
I haven't looked at it for a while.
Yeah.
But that's my album acquisition from 30 years ago.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool.
Well,
Like to
that's a
have it
pretty
on
good
stuff.
acquisition.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I didn't have any acquisitions, but I started converting my CD cabinet into an LP cabinet. So
Cool.
I got rid of. Spent one evening that I thought would take about 15 minutes or about 3 hours. I don't know. It's all about the same time, right? Because I put them all up on the top shelf, and then the shelf started sagging. I put just the metal records. So I sent Dennis and Alan an email, a text message, and said, "I'm reorganizing my music collection, my albums. How do I reorganize them? By band? I mean, by alphabetical, by artist, by band? What should I do?" So I ended up
we
putting
never
them in.
did. We never did come up with a consensus.
We did not.
we
I
all
did.
have.
Alphabetical.
The consensus was whatever works for you.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
was the
much.
consensus, right? So I did get them. So I put them all on the top shelf, and then or the second shelf, and then sitting there looking at it and literally watching the shelf start bowing, and I was like, "Oh, that's not going to work." So I moved them. I took them out and I moved them to the bottom shelf and reorganized them. And so now I have a case of CDs or a box of CDs laying over here from. I just have a shit ton of CDs. I mean, they were easy to store, and
Yeah.
I have a shit ton. And there's stuff that I'm never going to listen to again. So
I don't listen.
and they're
to
not worth anything. Those are not going to be worth anything because there are people. It's like contemporary Christian stuff that I listen to that nobody's going to buy those, and some 80s or 90s country stuff that probably nobody's going to listen to. And but I moved all my metal stuff all to the top, so it's easy access.
And your local music store will be like, "I give you $100 for the whole collection."
Yes, exactly
if
right.
you're lucky to
You'd
get
be
that.
surprised to be getting. I think you take a couple zeros
Right
off.
now, I think if they take half of them, I'd take $20 for half of them.
Well, we've got a couple of places here that will buy back stuff.
Yeah. So you guys have an exchange there, down there? One of those
We've
music
got
exchange places?
We've got a place called McKay's.
Oh yeah.
And they will. And this place is huge.
I've never been there, but I've heard a lot about it. Next time I come down, I want to try to step.
The Book
get
of
in
Music
there.
Exchange is closed now in Evansville, but you still.
Yeah,
got
but there's a
Coconuts.
place. There's a national company called the Exchange, and
Right.
there's some in Indy. There's a couple down in Nashville too, I think, because I was talking to somebody else about it once. But
We have a thing called Great Escape.
yeah,
They
so did
buy
you go to?
stuff.
Yeah, there's a Great Escape in Louisville. Did you go to Great Escape? It's right down the street there from
No.
the Electric Lady. That's my favorite place to go. I like
No, I
going there.
went to I went to a Book of Music Exchange there, and
Yeah.
they were fucking out of their minds. I mean, it was like they had just shit albums, and they wanted a fortune for them. And then they had these ones that were in a plastic bin, and they had a plastic top that was cut out in like a U or like a oblong thing, and then each record themselves were in a big plastic hard shell case, and you had to stick your finger in there and flip through there, and they were like $100 records, and I'm
What
like,
was
and
it?
it was just a bunch of shit stuff I see down at these other stores that for $10.
Wow.
It was crazy. I walked in there and I looked at Kelly. I see the first album and I was like, I forgot what it was. It was Hotter Than Hell, Kiss, in shit condition, and he wanted $58 for it. I'm like,
Jeez.
let's out of here. Let's go. I don't even know.
What a dumbass.
It's insane, people.
Dumbass.
And it was a shitty store too. I mean, it looked like floor had been swept and ever, and it was just a shithole. It smelled like
Was it a shithole?
it was a shithole.
Okay.
It was.
Just curious.
It felt damp and musty, and it was a nasty hole. So don't go.
But did it
Was it-
smell
was
like
it-
incense?
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
Then it
What
became,
are you talking about?
a nasty-o. What? So when Kelly listens to this back, we want to make sure that we're very clear about this. You were not talking about Kelly.
No, she was in there. She said it was nasty fish too.
I'm just trying to help you out, man. I'm just trying to help you out.
Oh, and by the way, congratulations for 30-year wedding
Yeah.
anniversary. That is impressive.
Anybody to put up with your shit for that
Yes,
long?
yeah,
ought to be
Jill,
a-
You know,
she's
I
a
was going to
saint.
say that, but then I thought, man, I'm just going to be nice to Dennis today.
No.
She hasn't smothered me yet.
I'll make it up tomorrow at band practice. All right, you guys ready to do the A to Z?
Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
rock and roll.
David, Alice in Chains.
I like the song Wood.
I got wood.
Oh,
14 years old.
Dennis.
I'm Wood. That's my favorite song from them. So.
Dennis and David
Yeah,
both
both
have
got
wood.
wood. Bill, you got Wood?
No, my man's in the box. I got a dick in the box. Oh wait, that's different.
That's
different Christmas show.
that's different. That's a different
different-
artist.
Yeah, I went with Man in the Box. Actually, I'm not that's when that whole grunge thing started. I kind of went
I'm
away,
not a
so
huge-
I don't know a lot about it. But Man in the
That's-
Box, I do. That's the only song of Alice in Chains that I have on my phone, and I do like it. So I went with that.
got
Well,
a lot
I
of
think
battles.
Alice in Chains was one of those bands that really wasn't a grunge band that kind of got swept into the grunge thing.
Yeah, and I listened to a
Yeah,
couple more things
'cause
today. I mean, but
Their
that's still
first
something
album
like
is a rock
True.
album.
I've got it. Yeah.
But my pick is the song Again. And if for those of you who are big time bootleg collectors or whatever, I really like the Tattoo of Pain remix. Whatever that means for anybody. All right, David. The B is Bullet Boys.
I like a lot of Bullet Boys, but my favorite song is "Smooth Up in You."
Good song. Good song.
I would
I
agree.
got Hard as a Rock. That's a good song. Bill,
I went with For the Love of Money.
good song.
Best beginning of a song that just, and seeing that live was just, oh my God, incredible.
Well, I'm going to match up with Dennis here and go with Hard as a Rock. That was a great, great song to start that album out.
Right.
Yeah.
Good song.
The Cure.
I'm calling BS on this one.
What?
I just went through and listened to several songs of theirs, and the only one that really I liked was one called "A Forest."
Right on.
Because I don't know nothing from this
Right.
band.
Unfortunately, I mean, I don't mind The Cure, but Friday I'm in Love. I mean, it's just that's the only one that's not makes you want to go out and poke your eyeballs out. So
Well, Dennis, we're 2 for 2.
okay, Bill,
I picked Love Song because I think that's a good song too.
that is
Yeah.
Now, well, I already said Dennis and I were 2 for 2. I picked Friday I'm in Love too. Did you guys see? It was a couple of months ago. Some lady was interviewing Robert Smith, and she was just wound up, and she was like, "So are you excited about the new tour?" And he's like, "Not as excited as you."
Wasn't that during the
It was an
Rock and Roll
award
Hall of Fame
ceremony.
thing?
Yeah.
That might have what it was.
That's what
I
it
don't
was.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
she was all
Whatever. He was just like, and he was so nonchalant about it, didn't even crack a smile or anything. Not as
No.
excited as you.
And he's always been kind of a different dude anyway.
He
I mean,
is.
He's always been
Yeah.
pretty flat,
Or-
affect,
He's-
and kind of a, I don't know.
He's an emo. He's an old emo.
He's an
Yeah, kind of an
elderly
he's an old
emo. He's
What do
the
they call?
godfather
Grandfather.
of the emos.
Exactly.
The grandfather. Yeah.
Pop
All right.
emo.
D is for Def Leppard.
I love Def Leppard. I'm going to go to the Euphoria album, and I love Paper Sun.
All right.
Good song. All right. I like a lot of songs too, but Switch 625, man. That's my song.
Ask
Or
the bass.
635, isn't it? Or 635.
625.
625. There you
Ask
go.
the bass player how much fun that song is.
I like playing it too. We've been playing it in our band,
Yeah.
so I like that. It's good song.
I
Bill,
went something off of High and Dry. I went with Let It Go.
That's a
good
good
song.
one.
it's an awesome song.
High and Dry is a great album.
Well, my all-time favorite
Yep.
Def Leppard song is Photograph, so I'll go with that one. But you can't go wrong with anything on
Good song.
Pyromania,
Nothing.
in my opinion.
No.
A lot of options there.
Yeah.
Thanks for that one. That was really hard, only because it's
You had so many you like.
Yeah. That was one of the ones I had to sit around and think about for a minute and really have to tie it down. So,
All right, Eddie Money's next.
Shaking.
Hey,
No control.
Baby, hold on. That's my favorite one.
I wanna go back. My song. I love that song.
All right, I also picked Shakin'. The band that I was in for one gig did the Shakin' song. That's how we started the show. And that's that drum. I was drumming for that band, and I love that drum beat in that song.
Cool.
Foghat.
I picked Fool for the City.
Well, I'm a fool too.
Me too.
We've got a fourple.
Oh wow!
I like Slow Ride, but it's just like it's so burnt out. I just
I
can't.
almost picked Slow Ride first, and I'm like, everybody's gonna pick Slow Ride. So I picked
Wrong.
Or maybe they won't.
There wasn't a whole lot to pick from there. So anyway.
All right, the next one is going to be pretty difficult, I think. Guns N' Roses.
Not big on Guns N' Roses, but I do like November Rain.
Okay. I like of all songs, Garden of Eden.
That song is a fun song.
It's punky. It's cool. I like it. That's a good song.
I went with Rocket Queen. That's the last song off the first album, and I think it's pretty much sums up the record. So,
and that is my favorite Guns N' Roses song. So that was my pick as well.
Oh, hey, look at that! We're a match.
We're a match. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding,
Tell
ding,
him what
ding.
he's won.
All right, on an all-expense paid trip to hell.
All right, the next one is H for Hardline.
All I know is Neil Schon was in that band at one time, and I picked "Look at You Now" from Danger Zone.
All right, I picked "Rhythm from a Red Car."
I picked "Take Me Down."
I also picked "Rhythm from a Red Car."
Nobody picked the
"Oh
big
Cherokee."
single.
Well,
Nobody picked the big single.
Oh, Cherokee.
Well, it was either going to be Hot Cherie or
Hot Cherie,
Rhythm from a Red Car.
Yeah, those are the two big songs.
But Oh Sherry is a Steve Perry song.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, Hot Cherie.
Hot Cherie.
Yeah.
There you go.
In excess.
I took "Suicide Blonde." That's my favorite.
Well, mine is from, it was the first video I ever seen from him, and still my favorite song, and it's Don't Change. I think that song is so cool.
I picked a song that I didn't know of, that I didn't even know anything about until he did the NXS show with the Rock Band, where they were, trying to find a new lead singer.
Right.
And the song "Pretty Vegas" was one that stood out on that show that they had all three of them do that song. And if you go back and listen to it, and then if you can find the videos on YouTube or something, that's a really, really good song. It was really cool. So that's what I picked.
I picked Devil Inside.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that little riff. It's real simple, but it's a cool riff. Journey.
Oh, I took "Wheel in the Sky." Love that song.
I like it, but bands I've played it, we've played the song to death. It's like ever since high school. I like, it's an odd song, but it's Mother Father. Steve Perry, when he sings that, man, it gives me a fucking chill. I mean, that's just, especially live versions of that song is really good. So,
yeah.
They actually did that this last time around with the new guy, Arnell. It was really good. Go ahead, Bill.
I picked off Escape. I picked a song called "Keep on Running." That was
that's a good one. Yeah,
that was the first. That was the first Journey record I had. And, well, actually, Lisa and I had, and it was a good. That's what I picked.
And that's also a Journey song that did not get played to death.
Right. Exactly.
No.
Yeah. My pick is "Separate Ways, Worlds Apart," and it's only for that fantastic music video. Have you seen the video for that? That's one of the worst videos ever. Fucking, I think they play air keyboards in there. Or something
it's
for a
not
while.
good. Yeah, there's a lot of.
I actually picked that song because it's my favorite Journey song. But we should do it. I think we already did. We did a show on terrible videos. I think that was my pick for that too.
Might have been.
I have to go back and listen. That was a few years ago.
Right.
All right. K is for Kansas.
Well, I didn't go with the obvious. I went on drastic measures. I went fight fire with fire.
You know what? I
That is a
come so
great
fucking
song.
close to getting that song. I love that song. That was one of their later. It came out later on. It had dun 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 dun. I mean, it's got a drive thing. This was a tough one for me because I love Kansas, and I mean everything they do is, especially all the older stuff. But the one I really like is "Portrait." He knew. I love that song. It's just, but I mean, good lord, I mean, song for America. I mean, there were so many songs I couldn't. It was hard for me to pick. So
I picked "Point of No Return" because
good song.
You're gonna have to listen to a Kansas song. That's a damn good song to listen to. So that's what I picked.
I picked "Point of No Return" because that's a damn good Kansas song.
Nobody picked the obvious. Carry on.
The thing about "Carry On," I never get sick of that song. I never get sick of that song. And if we're in the car, Laura knows when it comes on. If she doesn't change it fast enough, I'm going to turn it up.
Sing it.
And I'm air drumming the whole song.
Yeah, there's a lot of good tunes. A lot of good tunes.
All right, this is probably going to the next one will probably be a little difficult. Led Zeppelin.
Easy for me.
Well, I love "Gallows Pole" from Led Zeppelin 3.
It's good. Good song. My favorite one, "Kashmir." You can't.
Damn it!
I love that song. I mean, it's
whole catalog.
It's haunting though. It's a fucking great song, dude. Turn it up.
To me, that's that. When I went down the list, that was the first thing I wrote down without trying to go scroll through. It was like, that's obvious. And then
I did. Yeah, I didn't even have to think about that.
Didn't have to look at anything. When that song comes on, I turn that shit up as loud as I can possibly get. It's just the beginning. Love it. Love it.
Yes.
You're muted, buddy.
He's muted.
I hit the wrong button. My pick is "Livin' Lovin' Maid." And the only thing that I like about the song "Heartbreaker" is I know that when it comes on, I'm going to get to hear "Livin' Lovin' Maid."
2 for 1.
There has in my entire life has only been one radio station that I've ever heard play "Heartbreaker" without following it up with "Livin' Lovin' Maid," and that's WKTG in Madisonville, Kentucky. So, hey, fuckers, get on the ball.
There's a few of those songs that you can't. There's that Journey song,
the Journey song, the Queen song. Yeah. It's like I feel that way about Detroit Rock City too. Right. I think they should always follow that up with "King of the Nighttime World," but
that ain't happening.
who am I? Who am I to say? All right.
You get your own damn show. That's when you can do it.
I've got my own damn show. Damn it! It's called Big House Rockin' Radio Show. That's been on hiatus for like 3 months.
Everybody said that you've stopped, so shut up.
I'm planning on relaunching that in January.
So when you relaunch it, though, that'd be a cool segment to do, though.
Back to backs.
It's back to backs.
Yeah.
For the 2 back to backs that need to be on a.
There you go. Hey,
that might be
I might even let you guys be desk. I cannot talk. God damn it. Guest DJs.
There you go.
So I want to do something like that. I got to figure out how to get Skype to work with the multiple calls on my Windows PC because I can't DJ off my Mac. All right, so we're up to Motley Crue now.
I went with Dr. Feelgood off Theater of Pain. No, not Theater of Pain.
I'm like, nope.
Yeah, Dr. Feelgood is on the Dr. Feelgood album.
Yeah, it's on that one shitty bootleg. They got them all messed up. Okay, there's only one song to put on this, and it's "Live Wire" off the first album.
That was my other choice.
Yeah, that's another turn it up song.
Yes.
I picked "Too Young to Fall in Love."
Yeah, that's a good song too.
Yep, and I picked it used to be the ringtone for my wife. I've been too lazy to put it on my new phone. "Looks That Kill."
There you go. Good song too. Great song.
All right, now we're up to Nazareth.
Hair of the Dog.
I like Hair of the Dog, but I'm going to go with their other big hit, "Love Hurts." You get the right person sings that.
Well, so far we're all on the same album.
Yeah.
Well, do they have another album?
They have a bunch of albums.
They actually have a lot.
I know they do, but I was asking the obvious. I went with same album though, but I went with "Whiskey Drinking Woman."
Okay.
That's the only Nazareth album I have, and that's I like that song.
Well, we have 4 people on the same album, trifecta or quadfecta, whatever that's called. I went with "Miss Misery."
Cool. And we didn't pick the same things off the same album.
That's awesome.
Crazy because that's going to be like
miracle.
two.
Write that down.
That is crazy. Write this day down. Here's a good one. Ozzy Osbourne.
I've got 2 right here written down. I'm still debating.
I had a bunch, but I do like "See You on the Other Side."
That is a good song. All right, I got to pick. God damn it. SATO. I'm sorry, I had that song, but I had Revelation Mother Earth down
What
too.
SATO is that? Shout at the other.
No, you know what that stands for? That is actually all of Sharon's. It's Sharon, and then O is for Osborne, but it's her maiden names. It's what it stands for.
Okay,
Sharon,
I know.
middle name.
The A is for Arden.
Right, and then I don't know what the T is for. But anyway, or maybe it's a middle name, a T. But anyway, somebody brought that up. Yeah, I just heard that here about 2-3 months ago. But yeah, that song's fucking kick ass. So anyway,
I struggled. I wrote down 2, but I'm going to give you Suicide Solution.
I almost went with that one too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with the album none of y'all like, Shot in the Dark.
I like that album.
I like that album.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I like that album. We're going to talk about other picks
be
later.
that way.
We'll talk about other picks later.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
Pearl Jam.
I like Jeremy.
I was just going to say nothing because I am just not a Pearl Jam fan. But the only song that I can stand, and we played it a lot. The last band was Even Flow. I'm just not a.
It's those first 2 records that I like most of all.
Yeah, I think the first 2 records is
just I can't.
The ones everybody likes. You
has
see
a
my
voice.
dog going in back and forth over here?
Yeah, I see
Are
that.
you stuck?
I don't know if you know this, but there's a ghost behind you.
That's right.
I picked Even Flow as well because I'm not a Pearl Jam fan.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy was my introduction to Pearl Jam. That's my favorite song, and the video is really it's a powerful video, and a lot of people, back in the day thought that at the end when the kids were all covered in blood that he'd killed people, and if you think about it, the kid shot himself in front of his classroom.
Yeah.
So pay attention to the lyrics of that song, and kind of tells you it's a pretty powerful story.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
So let's try to find something a little more upbeat than kids killing themselves in school.
Yeah, well, that was a downer.
Yes,
Right
it was.
on.
Quiet Riot.
There you go.
Well, I'm not going with the obvious.
I am.
Goodness.
I love the song "The Wild and the Young."
That's a badass song.
That's a good song, man.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with the obvious. Mental Health. I mean, it's just I love that song. That's great. Sorry.
I went with Slick Black Cadillac.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I like that song, man.
I burn on it. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what?
All my musicians friends, for some reason, they were burnt on that particular song.
It is. I know. I don't know why. I just.
Wow. Have you played it? Is that why you don't like it?
Oh, we played it. Yeah, I used to play it, but
okay.
Just not a big fan. Go ahead, Al.
I also went with the obvious Mental Health. That was not my introduction to Quiet Riot, but it's still my favorite one.
Yeah, I agree.
So we are down to the R's. Let's do Robert Palmer.
Well, this one is my choice is from the MTV days when they first got started. This video played all the time. It was "Looking for Clues" by Robert Palmer.
Really? I don't remember that. I thought you were going to do the.
No.
I try to get my band every year at Halloween to put Gina in a suit and us all wear dresses, and nobody would. I'm like, I wanted to do that so bad. Be the Robert Palmer band.
That would be so funny.
That would be fucking hilarious, dude.
It would be hilarious.
No,
the Hounds is not going to do that either, so don't even try.
I know. Anyway, I went with something old, and I love this song. I actually didn't know it was him when I first heard it years ago, but Every Kind of People. I mean, that's what, 74, 75?
Yeah, that's
he's been around forever.
My God, he has been a long time.
That's a deep cut there.
Yeah, but that's a cool song for me. So, all right.
I went with the obvious then. I went with Addicted to Love because I think that's I like the song. I like the video. It's cool.
Right.
What Bill said. But I like the radio edit better than the
Yeah.
The
Video
album cut. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Cool.
Okay. Soundgarden.
Did everybody pick the same song?
No, I bet we didn't.
Okay, good.
My favorite is Rusty Cage.
That is a
Definitely,
good
we
song.
did not pick the same song.
Nope, we did not.
It's just that driving drum
Dennis is
sound on that
lost.
one.
Look at him. He's lost.
No.
You hear it, Dennis? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, hold on. I got to go ahead. Mine was Fell on Black Days.
Yeah, ditto. That's what I picked. You're still muted there, buddy.
No, I muted myself. I was unmuted. Spoonman is my pick for Soundgarden.
All right, so we have to pause here. So Dennis is on the phone for those of you listening and not watching, and it looks like his phone is actually tethered to something.
Yeah, it's
charger.
probably
Oh,
on
it's
the
a charger. I thought it was like, oh, it's not like a real phone.
So how many Dennis Dick jokes can we get in while we wait?
Oh, he has one?
Oh,
There you
there's
go.
one.
Well, he did have a theme there with Man in the Box or
Oh, I
hard
picked-
one or hard on.
All right, he's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's a great guy. I would.
Yeah, Dennis is all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, no.
All right. Now that Dennis is off the phone, we're going to go with Tom Petty.
Petty, man, that was hard.
It was. I like Facing the Crowd.
That's a good song.
I like
I-
that, David. You're picking a lot of not
You
the
deep,
radio
man.
hits and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I went with a radio hit, but it's still my favorite Tom Petty song is "Refugee." I mean, you can't go with that, or cannot go with that one. So, all right,
Cannot go bad with that one. I think.
go bad with it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I went with Learning to Fly.
That's a good song.
Mine is also Refugee. But if I was going to make a second pick, it would be You Wreck Me.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of good songs there.
What is the one too when they're out in the desert and they got those like futuristic cars? You know what I'm talking about? It was
Nope.
about
Yeah.
the same time. Refugee. What is the name of that song? I like that song a lot too, but I can't offhand. I can't think about it.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's off of it's off of What's-My-Doodle.
Well,
Yeah.
while he's looking for
Go ahead,
that, I will go ahead and throw out Uriah Heep.
You're gonna throw it out literally, or throw it out as an option?
Take your pick.
Okay.
I chose Easy Living.
Well, I'm going to back you up on that one. That was mine too.
I'm gonna go with my comment, which I just
Throwing it out.
I got nothing, Jack.
Oh, well, then we'll just go for the trifecta, Easy Living.
There you go.
Because I could find one song, and I figured which everybody else would pick, and I'm like, there's nothing else left. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I was amazed. I listened to it. I was like, there is nothing here that does nothing for me.
Now, Dennis has pulled out that Tom Petty record, so
I can't believe you found it.
It was under. Here's my qualm. I looked under P, and it's not under P. It's under T.
T.
For Torpedo Girl?
Mhm.
Or for Torpedo, or Damn the Torpedoes? Is that what it's for? Torpedo Girl.
Torpedo
Damn the
Girl is
Torpedo-
Ace Frehley.
Yeah, I know. I just totally. Hey, guitar player.
On that one Unmasked album that I still don't
Anyway.
like. So
That's correct.
I don't know. Anyway, I can't think of the name of it, but
Velvet Revolver.
I chose Slither.
well, I'm going to be going with you too, Slither. Yeah, it doesn't have,
I chose Fall to Pieces.
that's a good song.
We got 2 and 2. Fall to pieces.
Well, we've done that a couple times.
Yeah. All right. Warrant.
I love Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Well, I got 2 written down here, and UTC is my second. It was the second one I wrote down, Uncle Tom's Cabin. You can't go wrong without that. But my favorite song by Warrant, and it's actually a version that he did right before he passed away. He did a acoustic version of I Saw Red, and
Oh, yeah.
it's
That is a
so
good song.
fucking. It's just when he sings that by
Haunting.
himself.
Haunting.
It's fucking. It is. I got choked up, dude. I was driving down the road and got choked up, and
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I haven't researched it, but I bet that's based on something that happened to him.
Oh, I
wouldn't doubt it.
guarantee it.
Yeah, sure.
You don't sing that with that kind of emotion and it not happen to you. You know, those words came from someplace else. So yeah. Anyway.
What you got, Bill?
Yeah, the only other in the list that I wrote down immediately when I saw the list was Uncle Tom's Cabin. Crank it as loud as you can, loud. Oh my God,
that song it rocks balls.
Well, I'm right there with Dennis. I Saw Red and Uncle Tom's Cabin were my two top picks, and I'm going with I Saw Red as well.
Okay,
cool,
awesome.
The Yardbirds.
You threw that one in right at the last minute.
Yeah,
well, that's because when I first made the list, I forgot to put a Y in there. I was trying so hard to avoid the X that I forgot the Y. I'm not good at algebra, y'all.
They're one of those. It's one of those bands that I just don't really know much about, to be honest. I looked them up, and I'm like, and I basically went with the one. So go ahead.
David's got something to say.
Going with the Aerosmith remake, "Train Kept a Rolling."
I saw that they had that one on there.
That's cool. Didn't know about that.
You know, For Your Love is what I picked, but that's the only thing I really knew. I mean, I went through. And there wasn't a whole lot. They got a lot of stuff, but just
I missed the boat on that.
Played it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
So you got nothing, Bill?
I got nothing, man. I did not pick up on that till late and didn't get it done.
I've got the obvious choice as well, For Your Love.
Yeah.
And finally, the band Zebra.
Love that band. Love that band.
I have picked that freaking record up 13 times, that debut record, and I've
got two of them.
The first one, and I keep putting it back, and I'm like, not next time.
Oh, you've got to have it.
I'm
so
buying it next time.
Yeah, it's good. So you got 2 albums out, actually. I got.
I think they have 4.
Yeah, I got the Zebra, and then I got the No Telling Lies.
Yeah.
But yeah, this first one is freaking awesome. I got that.
So what'd you pick?
Who's Behind the Door?
Oh yeah, Who's Behind the Door? I like that one too.
I picked Tell Me What You Want.
That's another. Well, tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
No, I did not pick the Spice Girls. I did not pick the Spice Girls.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with Bill on this one. I do not like that song, Who's Behind the Door.
Really?
I'm not a Zebra fan at all. Those are the only 2 songs that I know. Right. And the other one I can at least tolerate. But Who's Behind it? I'd be driving down the road and I see that pop up on Hair Nation. And as soon as I see Zebra, bam!
I crank it up.
I'm like, we're going to the bridge, or we're going to the 70s on 7, or anything but that.
I thought you meant you were going to drive off the bridge.
No, I said going to the bridge.
I missed him too. I went to a concert, and I think it was, God, who did they open for? And we got there fucking late, and I caught the very end of that song, Who's Behind the Door. And it's like, damn, I wish I could have seen him in concert.
I'm pretty sure I saw them.
Was it
Roberts? At some
yeah,
point.
it was at Roberts, but was it Oreo? Maybe
it might have been. Because I did see them, and I just can't remember who it was.
I
with.
caught the very last song, and I'm like, son of a bitch! I wanted to see that. I don't know. We were sitting out in the car drinking beer or some kind of stupid shit. Didn't get it in time. Back when we were.
I've never missed any part of a show for drinking beer.
Yeah, this was
or drinking it. I've missed parts of the show.
Yeah, you were there.
Beginning of the show.
I've blacked out during parts of the show.
All right. So, but anyway.
All right. So now it's time to move on to what we really came here to talk about: 5 greatest hits albums we like.
Yep. All right. I got to pull some stuff around here. All right.
Our esteemed guest, David.
Well, the way I
first.
chose these, I went from 5 to 1 on the greatest hits albums that got me into rock and roll. And the first ones were from my brother. He had the Beatles Red and Blue albums.
Right.
It had all their hits. And I got into rock and roll through the Beatles.
I think a lot of us did.
That's my number 5.
My dad had those on 8-track.
I got them on 8-track. I got them on cassette, CD, and I've got my brother's albums.
Right.
Very cool. Dennis?
All right. I didn't really go for I didn't really go in any order or anything. It's just my favorite. That's the way I looked at it, was my favorite albums that were greatest hits. And one I could not find, and I had the CD of it, but I couldn't find it. But one of the ones I like is the Decade of Steely Dan. That's it came out in like '85, and it's got every hit that they had on there. It's just a great. I'd like to find that on vinyl, but
Steely Dan is one of those bands that if it's not on the greatest hits album, I don't like the song.
No idea what it is.
Yeah.
And I
do.
I mean, I do give them credit because their music it's unique and it's inventive in my opinion. But it just never really.
If you either like
it's not my thing. Yeah, I get that. Bill.
Right. But it's
I decided my 5 by just the 5 greatest hits albums that I knew right off the top of my head were albums that if I was to tell somebody what to go buy, that's what I would tell them to go buy.
There you go.
To me encompasses the artist. So I picked the first one I picked was Foreigner, and I actually did not pick Records, which was the original greatest hits record. I picked the one from 2011.
Is that the one that looks like a jukebox?
Yeah.
I bought that.
I didn't pick that one. I picked the one they had one come out in 2011 called "Feels Like the First Time," and it has the group of original songs, and it has a group of some of those same songs in unplugged.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool! I have to check that out.
And it's really good, really, really good.
They have another one, don't they? Have a?
They have they get like 5 now. I mean, they're one with an orchestra. They've got But that's the one I picked because it's just the unplugged stuff. So the unplugged songs on there are like "Long, Long Way from Home," "Cold as Ice," "The Flame Still Burns," "Double Vision," cool. "Say You Will," "Star Rider," which I know that Dennis will like that. I can't stand it. I skipped that one. And "Waiting for a Girl Like You." So I mean, the unplugged stuff on there is really it's cool stuff, and it sounds phenomenal. Because
what is the name of that one?
It's called "Feels Like the First Time."
I'm gonna have to look for that one. I wonder if it's out on.
Is it on Spotify?
Well, I'm sure it is.
It is on my Apple program.
Get it on the Google.
Yep.
All right, I picked mine. My criteria for my greatest hits albums is I had to like every song on the album, and I also didn't care if it was a greatest hits album with 1 or 2 new songs from the band when that album came out, And then I just went to my CD collection and picked 5 because like I said earlier, I have a whole bunch of them. So I'm just listing mine in alphabetical order. And my first pick was Creedence Clearwater Revival's Chronicle.
Yeah,
that's
good
a
record.
Good one.
I like every song on here, and I also got Chronicle Volume 2 because it has the one song that wouldn't fit on this one.
Of course.
The downside of CD is you can only fit 80 minutes worth of music on it.
Yep.
What's your next
All right.
pick?
My next one would be, it's not technically called a greatest hits album, but it's Led Zeppelin's Mothership. That had
that is a greatest hits album, really, isn't it?
Which isn't that every song they ever did?
Yeah.
So if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, every song's a great hit.
That's cool.
And it came with that DVD of a concert they did not too long ago.
That's right. Was that the one they did at O2?
I think so.
That benefit concert?
Oh.
Yeah. And that's when Foreigner lost Jason Bonham as their drummer.
Right.
Because I think he thought that...
I think he's on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he thought there was going to be a Led Zeppelin reunion, and he was ready for it. Surprise! Robert said no again.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So mine is probably one of the greatest selling albums ever. Can you guess what it is?
Eagles.
Probably the Eagles.
Eagles' greatest hits. Yes.
It took about a nanosecond, didn't it?
Yeah. This thing here is really good. And they have the two. They have the volume 1 and then volume 2. But this volume 1, I mean, that's a well put together album, and it has sold bunches and bunches and bunches of copies. So
I want to interject in something that has nothing to do with the Eagles, but you're talking about something that sold bunches and bunches of copies.
Right.
I saw posted yesterday, where I believe it was the day before yesterday, which would have been December 6th. AC/DC's Back in Black was certified 25 times.
I saw that.
So
I saw that.
That is impressive too.
Yes.
Isn't it worldwide though? It was like 50. It's like 50 million or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
what I read too.
I just saw the 25.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
25 times platinum.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Cha-ching.
No kidding. What
All
you
right,
got, Bill?
And hey, let's go out and tour some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah, that's something else I read that Brian
Phil
Johnson and Phil Rudd were both back in the band.
Oh,
Yep.
that'd be great. Be awesome.
Now,
I
I'm
would
going to that show.
I will go see that too. Yes.
Period.
E3.
And I don't care if they have an opening act, and I don't care if it's in a stadium. I'm going.
Yep.
All right. So the next one I have Journey's Greatest Hits, just because that album sums it up. I mean, that sums up the. Yeah. Okay. Move on.
All right. Well, my second pick was also the Eagles' greatest hits,
Right.
and they have 2 greatest hits and greatest hits volume 2. The stuff that came out after they put out greatest hits 1, I didn't think their albums were as good as they did before. Basically when they still had Bernie. I don't even know Bernie. No, shit.
Bernie Leadon.
Bernie Leadon. That's it. I almost said Bernie Toppin.
Yeah,
Didn't
Mike
say
got-
Coffin. That was not going to work.
Actually got something right.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Dennis, December
Dennis
8th,
was
2019.
Episode
Dennis
196.
got something right.
December 8th. Dennis
Okay. Got something right.
got something right. Okay. It's down. It's in the book.
Gotcha.
All right,
Good.
David, what's your next pick?
Well, my next one was like y'all. Mine's the Eagles' greatest hits. First one.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it, man.
Can't go
You
wrong.
cannot go wrong with that. That's some pretty good country rock.
Yeah. Do you guys have the second one?
I do.
No, I
I
don't.
don't either. I don't have it either.
I have it on cassette. No, I have it on CD, but I don't have it on LP.
Yeah, I don't either. And I really don't care to buy it either. It's just one of those things. I don't know, but because I've got all
Well,
of
but really, I mean, like the stuff off the Long Run and all that other kind of stuff. That whole record was almost
The Long Run was almost the greatest hits
it
album.
was a
in its own
greatest
right.
hits record by itself. So you really didn't
And
need
you-
it. So.
and you need to have Hotel California in its entirety too. You don't want just a couple
Yeah.
songs. So
See, now that's the thing. About half the songs on Hotel California, I don't care for. About half the songs on The Long Run, I don't care for.
Huh.
Maybe it's just the internal strife of the band that made the song suck for me. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So my next one is not really. I mean, it's rock, but I like all types of music. But this is my favorite. One of my favorite, and it's Little River Band's greatest hits.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That
And
is a great release.
It has a lot of just memories for me from college and stuff like that. Every time I hear
I've
these,
got
songs,
that one.
and it's one of those things where it brings back a lot of.
Yeah, I have that one on CD. I think maybe the very first track I don't care for, but the rest of it I think is great.
It's really good. It's a well put together album. So that's mine.
Cool.
Bill.
The next one I have Tom Petty's greatest hits.
It's a good
Just
Yeah, that's
yeah, and
and that
Okay.
that one suffers the same for me as what was the first one I did? Creedence Clearwater. It's
Right.
limited to 80 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, my third pick, I like both Greatest Hits 1 and Greatest Hits 2 from Elton John.
Right.
So it was kind of hard for me to pick. But I picked Greatest Hits 2 because his cover of Pinball Wizard and his cover of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds are fucking spectacular. And if you don't like those two covers, you are wrong.
Really?
No, I kid about that, but I really do. I like those better than the originals, actually.
Right. Cool.
Well, my number 2 has already been spoken for, and it's Journey's greatest hits.
That's a good one. You can't go wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. That is awesome. That's a good one. Well, I'm going to help Alan out a little bit, and I'm going to put Volume 1, Elton John's greatest hits. I mean, that's a well put together album. Also, I mean, it's
Oh,
got
I totally
all
agree.
the,
Well,
all the highlights.
The funny thing is Greatest Hits Volume 1 suffers from the old record days where you could only get so many songs on a side.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
on Greatest Hits Volume 2, the very first song, The Bitch Is Back, they actually wanted to put on Greatest Hits 1, but they didn't have room for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Your
useless
limitations.
trivia that I learned researching something Elton John a couple of years ago. Probably for one of my radio shows.
Cool.
All right, my third pick is Bad Company's 10 from 6.
That's a great
It's got
album.
all of their early stuff on there, early hits, and a great record. I actually have two versions. One album is horrible, and so I bought it again. But yeah, I like that record.
Oh, when you said 2 versions, I'm like, is there an alternate track?
No, there's not an alternate version. I have one version that one
I have
sounds
one
really
version
good, and the
that
other one
skips.
sounds like shit. Yes, I have
One that skips and one that doesn't.
one that doesn't.
All right. Well, we've already pointed out my 4th pick is Journey's Greatest Hits, which also suffers from you can only get so many songs on it because, gosh, there are 3 or 4 other songs that could fit on here easily. And now I'm drawing a blank on song titles. What's the one that Steve shares vocals with? Maybe Greg Raleigh?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Open my eyes to a new kind of way.
That's the one. Yeah.
Feeling that way.
Feeling that way. That's it. Yeah.
I love that song. That was actually
Stone in Love is another one that should be on here. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. What's your final pick, David?
Well, with being a card-carrying member of the Kiss Army since when I first saw them in 1974, the first greatest hits album that they did was double platinum. That's mine.
I almost put that in my list.
Was close.
But I thought, you know what? This isn't a Kiss podcast.
Right.
Even though it is a Kiss podcast.
Exactly. Exactly. That is a good one, though. I was sitting there going, because I was like, well, man, Kiss don't really have a great. Well, yeah, they do. The double platinum.
Well, you have that.
And you know, that's
I can't believe you didn't pick
hits.
Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. Come on.
Oh, God.
Come on, it's got the 2 best songs ever made on there.
But you know what, though? I actually have that album somewhere. I don't even know.
Yeah, you do.
I
You have
that
to.
as well. Yeah.
But you know what? Double Platinum is an album I've never bought. I've never had it.
Well, you can't be on the show anymore.
Well, you know, if you're going to be a true Kiss collector, you have to have it just because, Strutter was re-recorded. There's something different with Firehouse. There's something different with Black Diamond.
It was just one of those ones I just never did buy. So
yeah.
Well, you need to buy it. But next week's show, we better see it on the show.
I will buy it.
Album acquisition.
There you go.
I bought 5 copies, I
do have a couple of honorable mentions, but this is another one of these albums. If it's changed one song on this album, it'd be almost the perfect greatest hits album. And I'm talking Aerosmith, the Red Album.
Right, that is.
If they would take "Remember Walking in the Sand" off and put "Seasons of Wither" on it, it would be the perfect album.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there.
In your opinion,
but there's great. I mean, this thing has got everything on it. You know, "Walk This Way, Sweet Emotion," "Dream On." So, you know, it's a stacked album. You know, it's just from start to finish. So.
But that one does not suffer from not enough space because they could have fit a lot more songs on that CD. But of course, I think that came out like maybe.
Yeah, that was in
80 or 80.
Yeah, early 80s or late 70s.
I don't know.
1978.
Yeah, there was that was
records
before we were doing CDs.
Yeah, they didn't have CDs yet. So shut up, Alan. What do you know?
And the cassette and 8-track would only flip over so many times.
All right, 8-track and click 4 times. That's it. click.
All right, my last pick, and actually it is probably my favorite, and it's probably why I wrote it down that way, is Bryan Adams. They call it anthology, but the version I have is called So Far So Good. And one of the reasons why is it's got the duet with Tina Turner on there called It's Only Love.
Yeah,
and the beginning riff of that song is just, oh man.
Yeah.
And then it's like that thing. Every freaking song on there is. Yeah, really good. And another one. There could have been a few more songs on there I'd have put on there too, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Cool. My final pick, and I'm not surprised that Bill didn't pick it, or Dennis rather. I would not have been surprised if Bill had picked it, but I picked Van Halen the Best of Volume 1. You know,
I never even thought about that. Yeah, I don't have that one either.
The only thing that I don't like about this is they go from Eruption to Ain't Talking About Love. You know, yeah. But I thought they did a pretty decent job of picking some David Lee Roth era songs and Sammy Hagar era songs.
That's the reason I don't have that, because I don't like.
That's why I said I wasn't surprised you didn't pick it. You know,
I don't.
But
not a big fan.
Strangely enough, there are no Gary Sharon songs on here.
Yeah, well,
that's a good thing.
But they did Humans Being, Can't Get This Stuff No More, and Me Wise Magic. You know, those were all recorded. I think Humans Being, was that recorded for the Twister soundtrack originally?
The one was. I don't remember. What was the other one? You said
Well, that is the Sammy Hagar song. The other two, Can't Get This Stuff No More and Me Wise Magic, were both David Lee Roth.
right. Me Wise
Yeah.
Magic is great.
I was gonna say, of all of those three new songs, Me Wise Magic I thought was fucking badass.
Yeah, the other one was made for Twister. You're right. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
made for.
Yeah, that I had that. I was toying around with that in my head and as one of my 5, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's a good record. Though. I do have that. I listen to that quite a bit too.
You know, when I was rattling through my my cases, I did find 2 other ones that I almost threw in, but just real quick. Rolling Stone Hot Rocks 64 to 71.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a great CD. And here's another one I forgot I even had. And I tell you what, this thing is fucking loaded with shit. But Pat Benatar's Best Shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
I have
one.
that.
That has got some great.
Now,
I mean,
does
it's got
yours
everything.
have the DVD with it?
No, this is
London.
through the record. This is through the.
Because I have a Pat Benatar Greatest Hits CD that has a bonus DVD with it, which is, I believe it's all the music videos. I've never actually watched it.
Wow.
Yeah, this is. It doesn't. Anyway.
Well, Dennis, there's another Greatest Hits Stones and 2 called 40 Licks. And
40 Licks.
good.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
too.
that's really
I've
good
got
too.
the
And I
40
have that one.
Licks.
Now, does that go the whole era, or is that?
Yeah,
pretty much.
That has come out within the last 10 or 15 years.
So it's got
Yeah.
probably a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one here
really
only
good.
goes to this one only goes to 71. So it's basically got all the old stuff.
Yeah, and there's a new one
Speaking
too.
of the Rolling Stones, I saw a meme the other day, and it was a picture of Abraham Lincoln without his beard and his hair all fried out. They
saw
said
that.
it was a rare early picture of Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Here's another one. This isn't rock, but this is one of my favorite greatest hits.
Yep.
John
John Denver was a badass.
Where's your Best of Bread record, smartass?
Now, hey, that's some good stuff.
I know.
I had 2 copies. I gave one of them to Bill. Yeah, that's in there. No, there is the thing is, there's just so many of those, and it's hard to pick just 5.
I had 2 alternates myself. I had Best of Alan Parsons Project.
Ooh,
I loved it. That's a bunch of
pretty
studio
good,
musicians.
yeah.
They got some good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went heavy with Wasp, the best of the best.
I've got a Wasp Greatest Hits, which has a cover of Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that was a really good cover, and I was so excited because it was such a good cover. He did a cover of Rolling Stones' Paint It Black, and I was excited to hear it, and I was like, listen to somebody polish a turd. I hated that fucking version.
Yeah, that
I
happens.
finally got my things pulled up here.
Ew.
I also had the Cars. I also had the Cars Greatest
The
Hits.
Cars
too.
Greatest Hits, yeah.
Yep, I had that on
Feels
the
like
list.
the first time. I do. It is on Spotify.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
2011.
some good stuff there.
They also have the hits unplugged. That was in
Well, there's
2011.
I'm telling you, there are. If you look at Foreigner's Greatest Hits, there's like 5 different versions.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You gotta just pick which one you want
Yeah.
because there's a ton of them. Well, cool, man. That was fun.
It was a fun show. It was good.
All right, well,
I'm
folks,
not as pretty as Kalen, but hey.
So how's the weather in Nashville? Is it any better than? It's actually pretty nice out today. We got.
It was windy when we went out to the store a little while ago, but it's in the 40s.
Oh, it's 50.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's nice here. It's nice
Yeah,
up
it's
here.
nice.
We've been going through some cold. Well, we went to Louisville on was it Monday? God damn, it was cold. we were out at that outlet mall out there. It was like a wind tunnel, man. We were walking through there. That one we went to, Bill. Remember Shelbyville?
Yep. Yep.
Good Lord, where that thing sits, that wind was cutting through there, and I was like, good Lord, it's cold.
Well, it's going to go from 60s tomorrow to about in the 30s on Tuesday.
Snowing.
Welcome
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Midwest.
All right, folks. So that's
All right.
another episode in the can. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Visit us on agesofrock.com. Hit our social media. I actually started posting on our Twitter account again. Or not Twitter, the other account, Instagram. So,
I don't have
yeah.
that.
Actually,
It's
I
Twitter.
logged into I finally put it on my new phone, and I hadn't logged into it in months, and had 10 or 15 follow requests, and we've been tagged on a bunch of stuff. So everybody that tagged us, we weren't ignoring you. I'm just lazy. And on that note, folks, peace out. See you next episode.
See.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.